Welcome to the March 9th, 2026 meeting of the Auburn Select Board. This open meeting of the Town of Auburn Select Board is being conducted both in person and remotely, consistent with Chapter 107 of the Acts of 2022, which suspends the requirements of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed to participate remotely as long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. For the public to join the meeting remotely by telephone, dial 1-408-650-3123 and use access code 983-263-437. Or the public can join via computer at meet.goto.com/Auburn Select Board Room. All supporting materials that have been provided to members of this body are available on the town's website. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. Please note that this meeting is being recorded by Auburn Cable Television. Is anyone else recording tonight's meeting? Okay, so please stand if you're able for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so now we'll have public comments. I believe there are some people signed up. We'll take a look at the list. Thank you. All right, so we have John Lazon signed up from 10 Main Street. So just identify yourself, sir, and then, yep, thank you.
Hello, my name is John Lozon. I reside at 10 Main Street, Auburn, Mass. My comments pertain to transparency and accountability. Normally, if someone wasn't here, I wouldn't say anything at all. However, a point of privilege was used last month on me when I wasn't here after I left the town hall. So that being said, this person mentioned my last name 5 times. I don't do that sort of thing. I just certain decorum. I never mentioned the selectman's name at all. I make it a point to leave private organizations' names omitted. Not only was an organization that I belong to mentioned, but a former position that I held there was mentioned as well. A few other things that were said was, I have no objection to what he said. If that's his recollection, that's fine. Another thing was that conversation, which did not happen, the way he recollects it. Another one is, I'm all for free speech, but let's be accurate. And I was accused of name calling and misremembering the event as it happened. Not much for me to misremember. I asked why he wasn't there at Memorial Day ceremonies. He said, because I wasn't invited to speak. I said, typical politician answer. He said, I'm not a politician, explained and went on. It fell on my deaf ears because I already knew he was one. So he can call me, he can call me misremembering all he wants. I disagree. I learned years ago, just tell the truth. If I tell the truth, that's the end of it. If I tell a lie, then I have to keep putting covers on top of it. The truth gets to sleep naked. This is an after-school special. This is real life. My word is all I have. That's why I'm here. Now, besides watching someone, trying to explain himself, I not only found it amusing, I found it somewhat cringeworthy. Transparency and accountability looks good on paper, but how can it be done? HOW, how? Honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. I think that's a good way to start. Easier said than done. It takes effort. The type of effort it takes to make a phone call to the head of the Auburn DPW and find out if the apartment complex at the top of Main Street is truly designated for veterans housing, I was told by the head of DPW 10 months ago, or if the two long-term residents who live there told me a developer bought it with 2 adjacent properties for low-income housing. Just tell the truth, it's not a secret. I had no answers yet because no effort was made, you know. It's just a phone. I came alone this evening. I initially showed up with a dozen vets with me last month. Half of them had to leave because I told them I was speaking first. But you know, I don't know what I have to do to get this done. If I show up with 144 veterans, would that make a difference? I'm not sure. I just want some baby steps, of course. You know, the finding out if that's veterans housing or low-income housing at the top of Main Street is really all I expect to begin with. I will be back with follow-up questions pertaining to Veterans Affairs brought before the Selectmen a month ago. 4th of July is less than 4 months away. Are we getting our town's 4th of July parade back that we had for about 50 years up in Mount Ave, where it was taken away? I don't know what the plans are to celebrate the Revolutionary War Heroes Cemetery that's right here. I don't know if we're just going to ignore them and let them be forgotten. I'm not sure if anyone saw the Sword Street train tracks down on Auburn Worcester line on Southbridge Street and Sword Street. Anyhow, they look great. I've been complaining about the tracks down here for 22 months at the bottom of the street right in our own backyard. I get it. The town isn't responsible for the millions of dollars in commuters' front ends damage to the vehicles from smashing against the tracks in the square pit. That doesn't mean that a phone call from a town official isn't going to carry slightly more depth and weight than an average citizen like myself or anyone else for that matter, calling the train company or whoever you call, just looking for some more effort. Also, some people will be riding motorcycles there shortly, right over there. Now it's become a, not only a, it's become a different type of issue on top of it. Here is a 19th century sample of some of the finest dyed wool of that time. I was fortunate enough to recover this one-of-a-kind antique sample, which I placed in an old-timey mason jar, similar to its era. It was permanently located 20 feet from my property where the old filthy forbidden wool house stood, where me and the other kids played until it was hard to breathe against our parents' advice. The fire in 1974 melted most of the wool house into the earth. A few tons were left behind for the bulldozers to neatly cover up around 1981, 45 years ago. This is the very cleanest contaminants that can be found there. The six-legged frog that nobody cares about was found right next to this. A six-legged frog. I have many pics of very old litter. I've seen the property down there listed. It's not right now, but it's been listed for 40B, low income, and agriculture. Agriculture. This is the cleanest contaminants I can find. From 1799 to 1974, it ran all pollutants right into the Dock Brook Reservoir, right into wherever it ends up from there. I'll put this up there in case anyone's interested in passing it. Have a look at it. Thank you for your time. That is all. I'll be back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next on our agenda, we have community organizations. We're going to look at a board vote on a request for a proclamation from Bikers Helping Bikers, Motorcycle Survivors Funds, Inc., for the Commonwealth's annual Motorcycle Safety Awareness Period, March 22nd through April 30th. We've received a request from Paul Cody, president of Check Twice Signs and Bikers Helping Bikers, to issue a local proclamation for the benefit of Auburn's 455-plus citizen bikers and owners of registered motorcycles. The goal is to help promote the 1,000 140,000 plus motorcycles coming out of winter hibernation, increase awareness, and reduce accidents. This will coincide with Governor Healy's proclamation for the Commonwealth's annual Motorcycle Safety Awareness Period, March 22nd through April 30th, and throughout the 2026 riding season. Does anyone have any questions?
I didn't know if anyone was here, if Mr. Cody was here.
There is no.
So while I support this, I would like to ask through the chair, are the signs in town going to reflect this? I know we have some signage throughout town that would also raise additional awareness for this, especially during that week. I mean, motorcycle safety is paramount year-round, but this week in particular would be special. And if we could utilize the signs, the electronic signs in town during this week to support that, I'd like to.
Yes, we can do that. We hear a motion?
Yep, I'll make a motion to issue a proclamation for Motorcycle Safety Awareness Period, March 22nd, 2026 through April 30th, 2026, with a request to advertise motorcycle safety on all of the variable message boards and digital message boards throughout the town.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? No. So that's passed. Thank you. Now we have a board vote on an outdoor entertainment license application from the town of Auburn for the Robert Goddard Centennial Family Fun Day at Auburn Fire Station, 47 Auburn Street, Auburn, on March 14th, 2026. And Ms. Vecchio will tell us about it.
Yes, thank you so much. Through the chair, as you know, this coming Saturday, we are having our Family Fun Day, and it is honoring Dr. Robert Goddard and Esther Goddard Centennial Weekend, which is actually Monday the 16th. We'll also have a celebration that day. This request is for an outdoor entertainment license for the fire station and the Goddard Park for Saturday, March 14th.
Okay, thank you. I do have a question. Have we figured out the, I know we're going to have off-site parking with shuttles. Do we know where that parking will be so that we can tell the public where they should go?
We do have parking in a few different places in our website. The website for this centennial is up and running for
Oh, okay.
for everyone to go on and see where the parking's going to be. We have
All right.
5 different locations. We have buses from the WRTA, from the school department. We have buses both Saturday and Monday, bringing people back and forth to the golf course on Monday, and obviously Goddard Park on Saturday.
Great.
So the closest one is obviously for Goddard Park is the high school and the library and the Auburn Mall.
Okay, great, thank you.
No problem.
Does anyone have any questions about this event?
No, I just wanted to say that I'm grateful to town staff as well as the volunteers from the Goddard Centennial Committee for all the work they've done for the past year plus in order to put this together.
All right, do we hear a motion?
So I'll make a motion to issue an outdoor entertainment license to the town of Auburn for the Robert Goddard Centennial Family Fun Day at the Auburn Fire Station, 47 Auburn Street, Auburn, Mass. on March 14th, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Do I hear another motion?
I'll make a motion to waive the license fee for this event.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second to waive the license fee. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? All right. The next vote we're going to take is on outdoor entertainment license application from the town of Auburn for the Robert Goddard Centennial event at Packagug Golf Course, 15 Upland Street, Auburn, on March 16th, 2026.
Yes, thank you. This is the second day of celebrations, which will be Monday, March 16th, which is actually the exact day of the 100th anniversary. So it's very exciting. And obviously, it's going to be at the golf course because that's where the original launch was. We will have speaking and events there. We'll have reenactments. We'll be shooting off rockets. So again, this is an exciting event for Auburn. We have no idea how many people are coming in. We anticipate thousands. We have set up, like I said, bus routes earlier, bus routes for 5 different locations for parking, and everything is on our website, the Robert Goddard Centennial website. I recommend that all residents go and check it out.
Great, thank you. I mean, it's going to be a great event. I'm very excited for it. Questions?
Madam Chair, I have a couple questions on this one. Again, I'm looking forward to this great event. Did we specifically, in the notice to the neighbors, notify them that there will be rockets shut off so that they are aware of that?
I would have to check and get back to you on that. We did have to notify them that we were going for the application, and we sent them all the information that you have in your packet, which basically talks about you're in a butter, this is what's happening on this particular day. I'm not sure if we have all the documents, but I'll check with Steve tomorrow and make sure that that's out to all the abutters.
Yeah, if we did not specifically notify them, if we can find a way to notify them, just so they're aware.
Sure.
That could be taking place. The other question I had was, I know we've had some good melting going on, but that means it's going to be quite muddy out there. Have we taken any precautions? Are we putting out any plywood planks, or are we all just wearing our bean boots and tromping in the mud like Dr. Goddard did?
Well,
Although he did it during the snow.
exactly. It's funny you ask that, because up until last week, we were worried about 4 feet of snow on the golf course and frozen conditions. So we have pivoted on the fact that there'll be very muddy areas. We're going to do our best to contain the mud. Goddard Park, we're actually going to block off the grassy areas that were just under construction that we just did, and try to keep people on the paved areas. The golf course is going to be a little bit more difficult because we're going to be more on the course, but we also need to protect the green. So I am working with DPW and the fire department. It's a pretty big feat to, especially for the golf course, because of the irrigation system and the work that goes into the greens and the land. And so we are taking as many precautions as we can to protect the land more so than your muddy feet.
Sounds good. I appreciate that.
Do we hear a motion?
I will make a motion to issue an outdoor entertainment license to the town of Auburn for the Robert Goddard Centennial event at Packagug Golf Course, 15 Upland Street, Auburn, Mass. on March 16th, 2026.
Second.
Do we have a motion and a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And do I hear another motion?
I'll make a motion to waive the license fee for this
Second.
event.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to waive the fee. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so that's all set. Okay, do I hear a motion to move up item 8C, candidate interviews?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No. All right, so now it's time for the candidate interviews and the potential board vote to appoint one member to the vacancy on the Southern Worcester County Regional Vocational School Committee for a term to expire on May 16, 2026. First, we have Donald Erickson. Would you like to come up here, sir? Yep, right up here. Thank you, sir. So you would like to serve on you've been on the committee in the past, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
2006 to 2023.
Okay. Could I ask you, what made you decide to not, to leave at that point?
Well, we had an election, and I also had commitments at home to healthcare issues. Taking care of someone.
Okay.
But that person has passed, so
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that, but I understand. Thank you. Okay, so we have some questions to ask. Okay, who would like to ask the first question?
I will.
Yep.
What is your interest in serving on the board?
What is your interest in serving? Yeah.
I've been involved with Bay Path since its inception. I was at the Auburn presentation when the superintendent told us what the Bay Path was coming. And I started teaching there in 1975 till 2006 in various positions. So it's been a part of my life.
Thank you.
Do you have any special experiences or skills that will enhance your appointment?
Well, I have a master's degree in vocational administration with the approval to be a superintendent director. I also have been involved during the years. I taught machine trades there from 75 to 2006. I was department head for 18 years, seated on the school committee 2006, chaired the negotiating committee throughout my years there, on the building construction committee, screening committee for 4 superintendents, and NEASC chapter accreditation teams. So I've been involved in education for quite a while. And I know the school a little bit.
Any other questions?
I don't know if you want to ask the third one. I have 2 of my own, but
Okay, do you have any time constraints, sir, that would affect your attendance at the scheduled meetings and/or any additional meetings as needed?
During my tenure on the school committee, I didn't miss one meeting or school function. In fact, I come early to meetings.
Okay, great.
I don't think there'd be a problem as long as I'm above ground.
Thank you. I have a question also. If you were appointed to this position, I know that the term expires in May of this year. Would you be interested in running for election?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You have questions? Yep.
I do. You just asked one of them, so that gets that out of the way. The other question I have is, what do you hope to accomplish as a member of the Bay Path School Committee?
Well, to provide the education that all the students deserve. You're looking out for what's happening in the State House. You're looking out to make sure that the kids get what they need. So that's what I would be doing, or continuing to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We're all set? Okay, thank you very much, sir.
If I would just ask if there's anything else you want to share with us.
No, I've been here before,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
even when
step-
I went to Mary D. Stone School.
Oh, yeah. You're familiar with the neighborhood. Okay, our next candidate is Erica Crystal Euchre. You can tell me if I said your last name correctly, too, please.
It's Iker.
Iker, okay.
Yes. Hello, Erica Iker.
How are you?
Hello.
Okay, nice to meet you, thank
Nice
you.
to meet you as well.
Questions?
Yeah, so what is your interest in serving?
That's a great question. So my interest in serving, Bay Path is a integral part of my family. My twin boys are finishing up their freshman year there currently. My son Daniel is in the automotive tech department. My son Donald is part of ISSN. They are very involved in the Bay Path community. My son Daniel just finished his first year as a team member of the freshman basketball team, of which he was the captain. My son Donald also participates in the esports program that they have there, so they both do extracurricular activities. In addition, my daughter Irene just accepted placement for this fall for the class of 2030. So we are very involved with Bay Path.
Thank you.
Do you have any special experiences or skills that will enhance your appointment?
Yes. I served on the Auburn Energy Committee for 5 years, the last 2 of which I was the chair. I'm also a town meeting member here for Precinct 1, so I have established experience in town governance. In addition to that, my career path as the owner of Media Realty puts me in touch with a lot of different vocations that go along with the teachings of Bay Path. So it's very important to me, the entire vocational school system.
Thank you. Do you have any time constraints that would affect your attendance at the scheduled meetings and/or any additional meetings as needed?
I do not have any time constraints. I have already looked ahead at the upcoming meetings. I saw there is one every month, which is very easy to get to. In addition, I know there are some one-off meetings as well, which I am absolutely available to do. My schedule is very flexible.
Would you be able to come to finance committee meetings or select board meetings if there are any questions that arose about the budget or any other questions about Bay Path?
Yes, absolutely.
Great. And if you were appointed, are you interested in taking out papers and running for the position since this term expires soon?
Yes, absolutely. As I stated, I am locked into Bay Path for quite some time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. So what would you hope to accomplish as a member of the Bay Path School Committee?
I think that this committee is important and it serves as a bridge between the community and the school. I know there are 50 seats, so 50 different families that are part of Bay Path every year currently. So I think it's important that whoever takes this position serves as that bridge between the community and the school.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? Is there anything you'd like to tell us?
No, I think this is a great opportunity, and I appreciate the opportunity to interview for this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I will entertain any motions.
Sorry, I would like to make a motion to nominate Mr. Erickson to the board. He has a ton of experience with what's happening there, and I think he would do well.
Can I make a suggestion that maybe we poll the members? Because I was going to make a motion to appoint Erica Eicher based on her involvement in Bay Path as it is now and her investment with her children being in the school committee, in the school building.
So you'd like everyone to just to say who they would
I
support?
think before we make a motion and take a vote one way or the other, we might want to poll the members.
So, Stephen,
Was there already a motion made?
she has made a motion. I have not heard a second.
So I'll second for discussion, so we can move on to the next thing. I just want to make sure we address that first.
All right, thank you.
So I think it's a short time, and certainly whoever is not nominated can certainly run for the seat. So while it can be difficult, I would support Miss, I'm going to say the
Eicher.
Eicher. I want to say Euchre, but Miss Eicher.
Okay. And I would support Ms. Eicher for the position also. So we have a motion and a second. Do I hear another motion?
I'd like to rescind my second.
I can make a motion, since seems to be the will of the board, to nominate Ms. Eicher to the position.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to nominate Ms. Iger to the position. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. Okay, all set. Thank you. Thank you very
Congratulations.
much, both candidates. Thank you.
Thank you both. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, going back to our agenda, now we're going to we're going to look at departmental items. We have the DPW update on DPW projects.
Madam Chair, can I make a motion that we actually move up issue 8C, which is the board vote on change of manager license application for Auburn, Mass. Lodge 2118? I believe they are
E?
here. E, yep.
Okay, E.
Do D as well.
Yep. As well as, so why don't we do 8D and then 8E?
Okay.
That's my motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, so we're moving up 2 items. First, we're going to look at the board vote in the open-air license application from Boy Scout Troop 101 for their annual yard sale event at the Auburn Public Library. Why don't you go up to the podium, sir? And this would be on May 23rd to 24th from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And can you tell us a little about the event and identify yourself first, please?
Assistant Scoutmaster Chris Sylvester and I,
Just, all right.
sorry, Assistant Scoutmaster Christopher Sylvester and I, the committee chair for our fundraising group to keep the program going and lower costs for our scouts throughout the year. It's an annual event we've done for, I think, 20, 30 years now.
Okay,
We set up at the library from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then we break down and make sure it's spotless and better than what it was when we found it. It's one of the biggest fundraisers of the year for the scouts in order to send them. This year we're sending them to Philadelphia for the 250th anniversary, so it's going to support that.
great. That sounds fun. So do you need to set up on Friday, or does it all happen Saturday?
We usually set up Friday evening, but the open air permit we usually have for 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and there's no sales allowed on Friday night. We arrange with the library after they close. They allow us to set up the night before.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Do I hear a motion?
Yep. So I make a motion to issue an open air license to Boy Scouts of America Troop 101 for their annual yard sale event at the Auburn Public Library, May 23rd and 24th, 2026, from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m.
A second.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the license. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. Do I hear another motion?
I make a motion to waive the fee for this event.
A second.
So we have a motion and a second to waive the license fee. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the support. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, now we're going to look at a board vote on the change of manager license application from the Auburn Mass Lodge 2118 Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks for all alcohol club license, ABCC license number 00019CL0054. Is there anyone here from the Elks? Okay, why don't you come on up? Thank you. And just tell us your name. Thank you.
My name is Heather Brooks. I live at 34 Berlin Street in Auburn, and I've worked at the Auburn Elks for over 30 years.
What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Heather Brooks.
Heather Brooks. Okay, thank you. So we have a new manager?
Yes,
Okay. Okay, so Mr. Coakley, I heard he was retiring. Yep,
at the end of March, he is.
okay. All right. Does anyone have any questions?
I don't have a question. It looks like everything's in order. I just wanted to sort of take a side route here to just mention that this weekend I represented the board at the Special Olympics event at the high school. And I just wanted to, turns out that, and I found this out while I was there, that the Elks have sponsored that event for many years and presented a sizable donation to Special Olympics at that event. So I just want to thank you. Please extend the gratitude to the Elks for
I will.
supporting that event.
Okay. Any questions? Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the change of manager application for the Auburn Mass Lodge 2118 Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks, Inc., for all alcohol club license.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the change of manager application. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? No. All set. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Now, thank you very much. Joanna Paquin, why don't you come on up? Thank you. We'll look now at the DPW update on DPW projects. Okay, we did get some information. Do you want to start going through it with us?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. The first item on my summary is the Chapter 90 roadway reconstruction and resurfacing project. So we are moving forward with the list that I had presented last fall, and that includes Auburn Street, Church Street, South Street, Lancaster Street, Old Millbury Road, and then full depth patching throughout town. And we're looking at going out to bid this month for the start of construction this spring.
Bidding this month, okay. Okay, does anyone have any questions? No?
I just have some questions. First, thank you for being patient and allowing us to move those other issues up. I appreciate that. South Street's pretty long. Is it what are the limits, the project limits? I don't imagine it's the entire.
It is not. So we're focusing on the area between Central Street and Route 20 that has some major improvements that are needed, including the sidewalk and drainage. There's a failing drainage system that we are going to be replacing. And we're looking at some other sections south of town, but they're more sporadic. And I can follow up with the list as well.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Church Street is going to be the entire length? And then is Auburn Street going to be the entire length that was not done as part of the Mass DOT TIP project?
Correct.
I noticed that, sorry, through the chair, there you have various full depth patch locations throughout town. Is there a list of those, or are you doing them as they're reported?
So we do have a list of areas that we tend to have to go back and, patch potholes. It's not sustainable, so we're looking to, those areas that we keep on going back to the most, start with that, and then,
If there are other locations around town, is there a place for residents to report them?
so we do have the report a pothole, section of the website, as well as, just calling the DPW and leaving a message with the clerks. They're pretty familiar with the problem areas as well.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Through the chair, do you know how many times someone submits the same request, or like how's that tracked?
So at this point, we do not. We just finished our last training for C-Click Fix. So at this point, before now, I would have to go through my email and look at each individual submission through the website. That will be better tracked through C-Click Fix. So right now, we're going to be going live internally starting tomorrow. And then once we have kind of the bugs worked out, we'll roll it out to the public.
I know I've made comments in the past about reporting on things and stuff, so it sounds like we'll get some viable data coming out of this. So at a future time when the data is ready, I'd love to see how many issues came in, how many were resolved, what we're looking at. And again, those repeat areas, right? We always hear comments, or at least it's always been that way. It's always been that. Well, we've been making repairs. So just long term, it's going to take a lot more to it, but at least we have some action that's been taken, and while it's not the permanent fix, it is being addressed. So love that. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to second that. I think obviously not this year, but a good place to sort of report out that and demonstrate the work that DPW is doing with that is the annual report, as part of your annual report. I know other communities have done that. The last question I have on the roadway, and I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, and you probably know exactly what street I'm about to mention, Otis Street. When do we know, is there any plan to look at it? Has it been put on a 5-year plan or a 3-year plan or a 4-year plan?
So
'Cause
once-
it is getting worse and worse and worse.
So once we get through this list of streets, we try to be conservative in our estimate. And a lot of times, I'm not really sure where the prices are going right now, but a lot of times we still have money left over. And depending on what money is left, we'll move forward with additional roads. And we usually go through and drive each road each year. So that would be part of the consideration. I know that there are at least a couple of streets in town that, in my mind, that I have that I remember paving. I was here doing the construction inspections in Otis Street, Barn Street, where I think they might have been done the same road the same year. I think the soils are just horrible and deteriorated a lot faster than all the other streets.
So there's hope that it might be this year, possibly next year. If
I-
price is coming good and you got enough money and, okay.
I usually use that caveat just
Yep, no,
because
I
of
understand.
funding.
Well, I can imagine there's a lot, you're going to see an uptick in the prices for all the material that you need. Okay.
Our prices are based on, a lot of the products are based on fuel prices, so.
Yeah. Okay. Please continue.
So the next item is the Bryn Mawr sidewalk design. We did receive a preliminary design from the consultant, Wright Pierce. We had some comments that we sent back to the design engineer. They're mainly focused on reducing impacts to abutting properties. So once we get those revisions back to us, we're hoping to bid the project out and construct it this construction season.
This season, great.
And just as a side note, I know that the board is going to be considering the town meeting warrants. I'm going to be looking to withdraw the easement that I put a placeholder for town meeting warrant for easements for the Bryn Mawr sidewalk in case we needed to take some easements, but it looks like in discussions with the Auburn Water District, we'll be able to do some drainage work just with right of entry forms, and they were comfortable with that, so we'll be withdrawing that article.
Thank you. Okay.
The next project is the drainage contract that was started in the fall. So we had done some drainage work in the Meadowbrook Ave area. That hasn't been finished yet. They'll be coming back in the spring. There was additional drainage that was identified as needed on Chestnut Street, so that was installed, and they will be starting drainage replacement on Prospect Street as well.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I just have a question on this one. First, I want to thank you for taking care of the Chestnut Avenue issue. In terms of the Prospect Street, I'm sure I'm not the only one that saw there's a very sizable pothole that's related to, looks like a drainage cover on Prospect by Meeting House. Is that part of this project?
I
Or will
believe
it
so.
be addressed as part of this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That was identified last year. There's a sizable length of pipe that needs to be replaced. We'll be addressing them.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
The Water Street Culvert Replacement Project, the consultant has coordinated with the survey and wetlands subcontractors and started the hydraulic model and delineation of the watershed subcatchment. The geotechnical borings, I know that I mentioned that at the last meeting, they took place at the end of February. The preliminary design and local permitting is expected to be complete in April. And then once we have the final design, we'll move forward with the state and federal permits.
Okay.
Sorry, through you, Madam Chair. Do we have a timeline on when we think this might go into construction? Is it going to be this fall? I mean, it's not going to be this summer, but possibly this fall, or is it going to look like it's going to be pushed into 2027?
I'm afraid that it might be pushed out to 2027 just because of the permitting.
Thank you.
The next item is the sewer rehabilitation project. So this is the Sword Street as well as Goddard Drive sewer lines. Sword Street is, we're at the finish line. We're looking at bidding this out this spring. That is the sewer force main from Sword Street to Preston Ave. We've had several sewer main breaks on this line, and they are on Route 12, so not only environmentally difficult, but also on a state road with a lot of traffic. So that is going to be bid out in this spring, and we are also working on finalizing the design for the Goddard Drive sewer main. The Goddard Drive sewer main, that was identified as one of the priority areas through the sewer system evaluation survey. So the next item is the next step in the sewer system evaluation survey. Originally, we had the design engineer evaluate one section of town, and they did all the work. We identified that we can do some of the work in-house, so we actually had our sewer employees do the cammering of the sewer main, which we realized a lot of savings with that. So we have forwarded the videos and the data that was collected to the consultant. They're evaluating that now, and they'll be following up with some additional testing to see what other areas that will need to be addressed. And this is mandated by Mass DEP that we continue to make improvements on the infrastructure. The next project is the sewer asset management plan. We received an SRF fund grant to conduct the asset management plan. So it'll help us with planning, funding needs, a study on billing, how to best to forecast what we're going to need and base our billing on that as well. The next item is dams. We received the inspection reports for Leesville Pond and Eddy Pond Dam. We're seeking proposals for a seepage analysis at Eddy Pond Dam, and we're also submitting an application to address some recommendations for Leesville Pond Dam improvements.
Madam Chair, if I may just ask more questions on this. For Leesville Pond Dam, is there a similar report that was done for Eddy Pond Dam that can be made available?
A summary?
Yeah, so the summary report that I assume was done similar to what Eddy Pond Dam had done in terms of identifying any issues that there were.
Sure. Yes, I can send that over.
The other thing, so it says that you're currently seeking proposals for seepage analysis for Eddy Pond Dam to move forward with the necessary improvements. Mm-hmm. Is that contract going to be the seepage analysis and improvements, or is it going to be a seepage analysis that's going to identify the improvements that have to be made? Because I thought the other report that was already done sort of identified issues that had to be addressed.
So this would look at the root cause of the seepage.
So it's going to take a deeper dive into, so to speak, into the dam. And okay.
Yep.
But we're still on track to make some of the provided town meeting passes the CIP. I don't want to assume anything. We're on track to start making some of the improvements that were identified in that report this year. Okay, thank you.
Moving on to aquatic weed control, we extended our contract through the end of this year to treat Eddy Pond, Leesville Pond, Pondville Pond, as well as the Packagug Golf Course irrigation pond. And that's an annual contract. I know that we had some issues with permitting Eddy Pond, and that's been resolved, so we're back on track.
Thank you.
The next one is the Southeast New England Program Network Stormwater Planning Series. So the engineering division is participating in a planning series to find some creative ways to improve water quality and meet the town's phosphorus removal requirements based on the MS4 permit. So looking to find ways to infiltrate water within the tight footprint of rights-of-ways and easements. And hopefully we can get some credit because we're required to remove a certain amount of pounds of phosphorus each year. We are looking to bid out our guardrail replacement project. There's several areas in town that I'm looking to replace guardrail, as well as having an on-call guardrail company that we can just call if there's an accident or we need a repair. So we're looking to bid that out early summer.
I'm sure if I can just ask one question on that. Is that contract on call going to include both the metal type of guardrail as well as the wooden ones that we have in some places in town?
I was anticipating the metal ones because that's what I've seen the most, but I can definitely look into though.
I thought we had some wooden ones. I could be wrong on Southbridge Street and Auburn Street, protecting the basketball courts in that area.
So there's been some individuals that might have gone off the road there, but we've been able to repair it in-house. So that hasn't been as big of a problem.
Okay.
That's something that we can do.
Okay, great.
So on that note, if there's an accident there, is the town responsible for it, or is there insurance that covers it from the accident?
So we look at all the, through the chair, we look at all the accident reports, the police station, the police department distributes on their website, and we look to see if there was any description of, in the description of the accident, if anybody had mentioned guardrails or light posts or anything like that. That way we can go after the insurance company, but a lot of times we notice that, somebody hit the guardrail and there's no record of it.
So that sounds more like a pull. Is there, like, if the police are called to an accident, do they notify DPW when damage is done to property?
Sometimes we are notified, but we also, I've also had directed staff to, just look at accident reports, just because they might not be aware of the infrastructure that we're looking to protect.
On a similar note, if they're not noting it in accident reports, can we ask them to note it? Because
I was going to ask through the chair for the town manager if she can coordinate that and let the police department know on accidents if there's damage to notify DPW.
Good point.
not only notify DPW, but note it in the accident report, so we have a recourse.
Yeah, I know that, just through my day job, the state has now provided standardized reporting across all communities, finally, and that is included, those triggers. But I agree with my colleagues that I think it's important that the police actively notify DPW when there are reports. That way you can follow up without having to, I don't want to say waste time, but having to spend, valuable resources combing through reports. That shouldn't be needed.
Next item is the basketball court resurfacing. So we have a project that's going to be going out to bid to pulverize the basketball courts at Lemansky Park. And we're expecting to do that this construction season.
Can I ask, I know that there used to be a high school league that would play there. I'm not sure if they're still playing there. Would you plan on coordinating that around their schedule, or?
Yeah, I plan on reaching out to Kristen Pappas as
Okay.
well as the schools, just because we're not really aware who's using those.
Okay, thank you.
Moving on to the Packard Golf Course, we have a master plan that is being finalized by the landscape architect that specializes in golf courses. And this plan includes grading of tees, greens, bunker work, cart paths, as well as drainage improvements. So the final construction plans for that work are being finalized, and we're looking to bid that out shortly. Expected to start construction this fall, hopefully, just because we want to miss the really hot season where the grass isn't going to grow back, as well as the wet season that we might be entering into right now. And the last project that I have on the list is golf course irrigation and electrical improvements. So we have some revisions to the documents based on the master plan that the landscape architect is finalizing. So we're revising those documents, but at the same time, we're also looking at the electrical improvements and coordinating that with National Grid, and also possibly adding more work to the design engineer to make sure that we have enough capacity.
I remember you saying in the past that it hadn't been upgraded in a long, long time, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Any questions?
I have a question related to the weed control. So I know we've extended the contract through the end of 2026. Are they currently doing everything that we need them to do, or are we looking to enhance the contract for the future when it goes out to bid? And I ask, and again, I'm not a weed control guy, but when the water's low, you see a lot more weeds. It just gets me thinking, are we doing enough? Are we doing the minimum? Are we getting what we're paying for?
So with the aquatic weed control, we also get the expertise of those that specialize in aquatic weed, and they are licensed to treat these ponds. So they know how much herbicide that they can use, and as part of our contract with them, they provide us with an end-of-the-year report stating, okay, we've noticed that these weeds are coming up over here, so this is probably going to be needed next year to address. And we've been basing the next contract on the recommendations of those experts.
So when we go out to bid, we're basing it off the previous contract's findings?
Yes.
Does that open it up as a fair bid, or is that information, like, and I don't want to say like this company is not doing their job, but does that mean we're getting the best value and are other companies getting that information, or are we biasing ourselves with their information?
So they list the specific weeds that they do treat for, or at least the specific, yeah, I mean, it's aquatic weed, but the specific plants that they've noticed that, might be emerging in this, in the fall or during the year. So based on the report, which is a complete report of what had been done the year before, I would assume that there would be enough information for other contractors or for other companies that, that can base their bid on. I can say that Solitude has been consistently the lowest, but we've had two bidders, either one or two bidders in the time that I've been here in the last 15 years. So there aren't really many companies that do this type of work.
And that goes back to my original comment, are they
Right.
providing us the service we need? So, yeah, it's very specialized, and I don't expect to know, but I will leave it to you guys to figure that out. And again, just driving by when the water's low, you see a lot more weeds than normal, and it's a concern.
Madam Chair, through you, I think to Mr. Chambers' point, and you correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm misremembering this from watching a Conservation Commission meeting, because again, I have no life and watch all these meetings. I believe the update, we were not doing weed control in Eddy Pond because there were issues with either state or federal permitting that we needed to do. And that led to a lot of weeds in the last year. And I know there was a record number of complaints that at least I know I got because of that. But I think that's probably
More aligned.
probably the reason for it, that hopefully they're going to be addressing this year now that they have all their permitting.
And through the chair, for Eddy Pond, we are only treating the northern part of Eddy Pond. So you can kind of see as you're going up 395, a delineation of, or the summer, the weeded section, which is a lot more shallow, so not really as much of a priority for, you're not going to have a lot of people boating there or using it. And it basically goes halfway up towards Route 20. I mean, from halfway up towards Route 20, not halfway up towards Route 20.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? That's it? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting us move you around on the schedule there. Thank you. All right, next on our schedule, we're going to look at on our agenda, we're going to look at the gift acceptances in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 44, 53, Section 53A. We have a donation of $100 from Kathleen Sabina for the animal shelter for pet food.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to accept a gratitude, a gift of $100 from Kathleen Sabina to DDIS Animal Control for the purposes of purchasing animal shelter pet food.
Second.
Do you have a motion and a second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, continuing down, we're going to look at Section 8F. Select Board review and vote to refer annual town meeting warrant articles to Town Council for legal review. Does anyone have any questions about this? We, of course, will be doing recommendations on the warrant articles in a few weeks, but not tonight.
Through the chair, I know there's some placeholders for numbers and stuff like that. Will we have them by the time we get recommendations, or are they going to be delayed longer?
Through the chair, we should have them set prior to your vote on them in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to transmit the May 6, 2026 annual town meeting warrant draft articles to Town Council for legal review.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and continuing on our agenda, town manager items.
Oh, yes.
Yep. We have a board vote to waive permit fees for the fire station construction project.
Yes, so I do believe this has been discussed a few times with the Fire Station Building Committee and also with the fire chief, but this is a formal request to have permit fees related to construction of the new fire rescue headquarters waived, and also to, let me see, yeah, that's it, just all the permits for the fire station headquarters waived, the permit fees, not the permits themselves.
Okay,
May I ask, and again, like, might be silly, but if they were to pay the fees, the residents are still paying it, but then those fees go back to the inspection and end up in the general fund, or where would they end up? otherwise.
So if the town pays itself, do you mean?
If we were to require the fees be paid,
Yep.
what does that look like on the back end rather than,
So the
Wait.
town would basically take money from our budget and make a payment to itself, and it would end up in the general fund. It would just be circular.
so it's reallocating funds for the fire station into the general fund that we would have to potentially in the future reallocate to get what we need.
Yes.
I wanted that
Good question.
called out because again, it's not that we're not paying it, it's just that process is more direct.
And keep in mind, too, that we're paying for the fire station project with two types of money. The cash, that excess amount from free cash, and also borrowed money. So we'd hate to think that we would be paying the town with borrowed money, and then we would pay interest to pay ourselves. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
It does not, but again, just calling out what that
Yep.
process looks like, it's not that the town is not paying.
Yep.
It's just more direct and beneficial for the residents.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to waive all permit fees related to the construction of the new fire headquarters.
Second,
If we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so that's good. And the next item, member item, we're going to take a look at some board votes to issue proclamations to longstanding members of boards and commissions who have resigned or are not seeking reappointment this year. And this would be for the volunteer appreciation event, which is going to be held here at the town hall on April 6th.
The high school.
Oh, it's going to be held at, I beg your pardon, the high school, yep.
Yep. So, Madam Chair, through you to the other members. So we started, you remember, 3 years ago at the volunteer event, recognizing those long-term volunteers that had recently resigned from their boards or were stepping off, included previous town moderators twice, library board of trustees members, and we issued about halfway through the year a proclamation to Mr. Chicolo from the ZBA at that time at the request of ZBA, and did not wait until this event. But we, in planning the event, myself and the chair, went and worked with staff as well as reached out to members on various boards and commissions and their chairs to find out who was not seeking reelection or who was resigning or not going to seek reappointment or recently resigned. And so far we have two members. Jessica Harrington, who is a school committee chair. She was first elected in 2024. She has served for chair for at least 4 years, if not longer. Before that, she was vice chair for many years. She also sits on the board of Auburn Youth and Family Services in town for, I think, the past decade. She also volunteers up at the senior center, running the coloring club, as well as other events for the past 8 years. So she's done a lot for the town. She's she's very involved in volunteering. So she was the first one that confirmed that she would not be seeking re-election this year. The second person is John Regan, who just recently resigned from the planning board. John first joined the planning board in 2016. He served as chair at least going back to 2020 when I joined. I know Steve was on there before me when he was chair, so it could be even longer than that. And John resigned from the planning board, so we'd like to also recognize his volunteer service. I will tell you that as a member of the planning board, John was probably the most effective and best peer review consultant the town did not have to pay for. Every plan that came before us, he was thanks to his many years in the construction trades, providing very valuable peer review on all of the plans and all the details coming before us for all the buildings and site plans. So he is a big loss, in my opinion, to the planning board, and they have some very big shoes to fill. But those are the two members that we've identified to date to honor at the volunteer appreciation event.
through the chair, may I ask, what is the process to find these people? Because I don't know when they resign or choose not to, like, I know I'm not personally notified. I'm just trying to make sure that we don't miss people, and I don't know if there's recommendations, if they've done one term, is that considered something worthy, or are we looking for people with tenure who are no longer doing it? And I just want
Ms. Vecchio can answer that.
Yes, through the chair. So typically, if we get a resignation from any board or committee member, I notify them, like I send them a letter, so it would be easy enough for me to notify the board as well. Although I did not know about Jessica, like that wasn't. that
Well,
was
and
school
that
department.
one seems like she's not going to run, but I don't
Right.
know. I haven't heard anything formal on that. So
So I reached out, in co-organizing this event with the chair, for those that were up for reelection, I reached out to them personally to ask each one of them if they plan to run. Some were easy because they had already pulled papers. Some had not pulled papers yet. However, everyone else who falls under that and elected is running for reelection this year. Jesse is the only one that is not. In terms of the planning board, I actually worked through the town manager's office staff and followed up with them to find out anyone who had stepped off recently and any that they knew may have or be intending to. I know that typically what would happen is if they step off after the volunteer luncheon, we would recognize them the following year. But we've never set any sort of criteria that says you must serve 2 terms, 3 terms, 4 terms. It's just that we wanted to recognize, their volunteer service. I think it just happens to be that because we don't have a ton of people volunteering, hopefully we have more in the coming years. All of those people have served many terms, whether it was Suzette Dowd from the Library Board of Trustees, Moderator Baker, Moderator Stencil, who had really served a lot of terms.
oh, there, again, great recognition. I just want to make sure we're not missing anyone. I know, 10 plus years serving the town, volunteering your hours is definitely a commitment. So they certainly should be recognized for their service in that. I just want to make sure we're not missing people, and I would hate to offend someone who's dedicated a lot of time to make the community better.
Thank you.
For anyone listening at home or might be watching this later on, if you are aware of people who serve on boards and commissions that are stepping off, please let us know.
Okay, we need 2 motions.
So I will make a motion to issue a proclamation to Jessica Harrington for her longstanding service on the school committee to be presented at the annual volunteer appreciation event on April 6, 2026.
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And another motion, please.
I'll make a motion to issue a proclamation to John Regan for his longstanding service on the planning board to be presented at the annual volunteer appreciation event, April 6, 2026.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, does anyone have any other, we have no more public comments? No? Does anyone have anything they'd like to say? We're going to meet again in 2 weeks. Okay, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Seconded.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No, okay, we're adjourned.